Looks like a secret place in the caves, in the mountains here. I'm indoors. Friday. I think I'm done here, and I got unloaded and reloaded, and I'm heading out. But it's been kind of a crappy morning, and my truck's all dirty, so I have to get back and wash it. I think I'm done, so I'm gonna head over there and see if I can get my bills and head out. See ya. Alright, well, we're loaded, and I'm heading out of here. This is like Scranton area. Moosic. No, not Moosic. I don't know where we are. I really don't. I know how to get out of here, though. Inside that building for about an hour and 3/4, almost 2 hours. And what we do on this run is we load up in Johnson City, New York, and what it is this plant here, I'm sure, some of the workers might not like it, but they take them up, and I got parts again going up here, and they package parts for them. That's all they're doing is packaging the parts. And it's for people who are a little mentally challenged, CVI, and it gives them work, which is nice for, plants to do. There was a plant in the city that used to do that. They would give people who can't get hired and, you know, do regular jobs, obviously, things to do like packaging and trimming a little bit, that kind of stuff, which is good. Now, obviously, for this plant here in Scranton, you know, it saves them a little bit of money because they don't have to hire people that would get normally, you know, something $12 to $15 an hour jobs. They gives it, you know, that's easy. However, there's a trucking cost, but I guess over a period of time it saves them money. So there you go. Well, I still think it's good because, you know, these people, there's quite a few in there. I mean, when I left this morning, they had arrived to work, but there's quite a few in there. I would say probably, you know, a couple dozen. Anyway, I think. Which is cool. And over to the left there is a big garbage dump that they're still dumping garbage in there. But these landfills have, they've got a lot of, methane gas out of there, really is what it is, and they just use it for fuel now, and which is awesome. And eventually they're gonna, make it into property, and people will build on it. They'll tear it all down. Our garbage, even though we, don't just throw I recycle, I throw all my recyclables in a recycle bin, and I take them, they go to it, they get recycled. So, at least our landfills have become, they've gotten smart about it. Once the garbage starts breaking down, it produces the gas, and they harvest the gas, and it also makes dirt again, and they can sell that, or they can just, spread it out again, and you can build on that property. It just keeps going. So, thank you, Earth. Anyway, we're on the northeast extension now, and we're heading back to Johnson City, so I'll catch you on the flip side. So it's like, you live up here in the northeast, you wake up in the morning, and first thing you go outside, and your car it's in winter time, and you look out there, and your car is covered in snow, and you got to go out there and clean it off, and you're thinking, oh my God, I mean, your first footstep on your step, you hear it because it's so cold, you're like, oh my God, right? Everybody knows. It's like, living up here is like, the only thing is this is where, I grew up, so this is why I live here, my Justin lives down here. Yeah, he's my family, it's like, he's my son. So my daughter, she lives down there in Louisiana, She found life down there, it's cool. So I went down there, and I lived down there for like 6 months. It was all cool and everything. I took this black Neon down there. It was my son's, but I took it down there. It had black windows. It was kind of like one of those cars. It was, you know, nothing worked. The air con- the air conditioner didn't work. The muffler, it didn't have a muffler. It was loud. It was fun. It was actually a pretty cool car. I mean, it motored right along. But I mean, I was down there. Going, I would I would leave work, right? It'd be in the afternoon. It's 100 degrees, and now I'm going to get in this Neon. There's no air conditioning. It's black. The windows are tinted black. The seats are black. It's 100 degrees. So by the time that I would get home, I would open up the door, take the seatbelt off, and and the seatbelt mark, would be on my chest because I was sweating where the seatbelt was. It was so hot. Yeah, it was like, you know, yo. And then you would go into the apartment, I could run there, and I would go in and I'd open that door and the air conditioner was on in the apartment and it'd be like, oh, God. Yeah. It's just the opposite here. You know, it's like you walk into your house and you can feel the heat. I have a wood stove and you can feel it. It's like, oh my God, it's so cold outside. It's so different. And Georgette, living down there, when she left, I mean, she was like young, I never partied with her, or nothing, she seen me drink and everything, but so going down there, right? She's older now, I'm like, hey, cool. My daughter's older now and everything. I'm living with her. So one time she goes out and she gets drunk, she goes out with this guy and she gets really drunk and no, oh yeah, she went out with actually her ex-husband James and she gets drunk and he calls me up and says, man, he goes, I don't know what happened to her, but she got really drunk. Well, she was really drunk, It's like, hey, all right. So I had to go down there. He didn't help me, and I had to carry her up the stairs. And we lived on the second floor, And I'm like, I can't carry, man. She was like, so I kind of got her out, around like this, and I'm holding her up, and she's walking like, big boom, boom, boom. Like that, with me. I'm having a hard time getting her up the stairs and everything. I finally get the door open to the apartment, and I'm kind of like pulling her, and she's like really getting heavy, and I ended up dragging her into the apartment and dragging her into her bedroom, and she fell. I mean, I just pulled her up on the bed, and she fell right on me. I'm like, oh my God, Georgette. Yikes, man. So what do? You're this is how that's living. That's living with your kids. Your kids. You grow up with your kids, right? And when they were younger, I got so mad one time, because hey, I had smoked a little weed in my time, and one time, she found out I was smoking weed, so I go home, right? She's gone to this party, with her friends, and she she's gone. I go home and I find my pot stuff, and she had broke it all. She did. She just kind of broke everything. Man, I got so mad. Yeah, I went to that party she was at, which is actually not too far from where I live now, and I just told her, I said, come on, you're coming with me, man, right in front of her friends, man. I drug her right out of that party, and I made her go home, man. I was so pissed off, man. You grow up with your kids, you know what I mean? You do. Justin, he's telling me some stories now. So Justin, he's up at this party, right? I mean, I don't know, his friend's house right here in Sydney. He's up there, right? And he tells me now. This is stuff that he tells me. Um, After I mean, we're older now. He says. So he said one time he comes home. He said he was running, and he had taken this lamp from somebody. I don't know why, but he just took it. And he's running, man. He's running through the street, through backyards, gonna go right down to where we used to live on River Street. And he said, man, he said he said he didn't know what happened, but man, he jumped off this little ledge. He thought he was just going to be into the next yard. He said it was way down, way down, and in mud. He said he was really lucky because it was a long distance. It was dark, and he went right into this mud. I mean, up to his stomach, his waist. He said he had to get out. He couldn't get his. He had to find. He lost his shoes in there and his pants. Come on, man. That's the funniest thing you ever hear, man. He said he had to run home in his underwear because his pants, his shoes and everything had got stuck in the mud. He couldn't get out. So he just pulled himself out of his pants and everything. Come on, man. When he told me that story, I laughed so hard I was peeing myself because it was just so funny. Come on. It's just funny. There's some good stuff, man. Growing up with your kids. I mean, just wacky shit that happens, And you gotta love your kids. And I used to bitch about, what I'm saying is here, I used to bitch about living here, I'm a bachelor, live alone and everything. But, those memories that, you make with your kids is your life. So if you don't have kids, man, I'm just saying, you're losing out, because just like today, I saw my son and he's moving closer, and I'm really happy because my son is moving closer. He got a house just, within walking distance, really. And he has kids, and they're my grandkids, and that's life. And that's what really it is all about, is family. And I'm not saying it's the most important thing to have kids, because you got brothers, sisters, maybe. But, man, family. Just remember family. It is the most beautiful thing in the whole world. The things you do together. Sometime this fall, I want to go to Minnesota again with Justin and Georgia. I hope that we all can make it to Minnesota and go to a Vikings game and just go visit the Twin Cities, and have a good time again, and I'm just telling you, just enjoy your family. The hell with all this political shit that's going on here, with this year's, everybody says the world's going nuts, but if you just slow down, forget about your stinking iPhones for a little while, and go visit your family, and what I want to say is, go to events, whether it's a concert, anything, go camping. I've had such a great time with Justin and my nephew Jerry. We went camping, and we had taken different people with us, and we had great times. Go to a fucking sports event. I can't tell you, man, because some people just don't like sports, and I know it. You don't get it. It ain't your thing. But sporting events, sports brings you together. It isn't political. It's just teams fighting each other, and your team wins, and then you don't like that guy for a little while, but then it's camaraderie too at the same time. After that, your team loses, you feel down about it, but then a day later, you're back into it. You're like, you're getting ready for the next sporting event that happens. But then go to a live game, because it is so fun. I mean, it is, especially when there's a lot of people there, like, a pro game or a college, a big.
man, when a team scores and it's the home team, man, it is like booming loud, and it is so fun. So, enjoy things like that, even if it's a little party you get together. I've gotten away from that, but, um, that's just me now. But I'll tell you what, I believe in the family, and I want that word to get out. I really do. I want family is it. People have gone off into their own worlds. They leave town. Like, I understand that's how it is. Jobs are over there, jobs are there, or you don't like the area you live in, and everybody just moves away. It wasn't that way in the past because, and families just grew up together. But it isn't that way anymore. But you have mass media, find each other and enjoy life. Enjoy your family, man. That's my message for today. Enjoy your family. So, adios.